Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the performance or how to beat the Fighting Legend Goku event with no items using a Wicked Bloodlines team. So yeah, pretty easy nowadays. As I've mentioned kind of at the start of all of these videos, the Fighting Legend Goku event was obviously an event that originally was kind of designed, you know, to be the first long form event in the game. It was very tough. It was a very tough event that honestly had a really good kind of premise around it. And yeah, for a long time it was like the gold standard of events. It was like the #1 kind of event to measure things with. People used to use it to measure their units, to measure how they were performing, and yeah, in general it was just a very strong event from that perspective. So obviously times have changed. We now have the Fighting Legend Vegeta event, we now have the Fighting Legend Goku GT event, but in reality this event is still a challenge, and it's a good metric for a lot of players to start building teams around and building some more long form category teams. Think of it as like the precursor to the red zone and all these events that last longer than 4 phases basically. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting kind of event. I do think overall, for me at least, I do think overall that it's a pretty good event still. I enjoy it a lot and I do think it's a lot of fun. In terms of the Wicked Bloodlines team build, I do think going for the no item run nowadays is a lot easier than it used to be. A couple reasons why. Basically, to cut a long story short, it is incredibly simple to kind of measure up these teams and to measure up like how all these things work. It's a fairly simple kind of process because a lot of these units have increased damage against Goku's family, Hybrid Saiyans, Pure Saiyans, etc. So the rate at which they do damage is pretty much far too much for this event. So even though some of them don't even have time to really build up their defensive stacks, it doesn't really matter too much if I'm honest. Like most of the teams and most of the performance of the units is just so high offensively that it doesn't really change too much. We have obviously the terrifying conquerors, Cooler, LR Final Form Cooler, who's just a huge damage dealer. Obviously greatly raises his defense for 1 turn, which is great. He also raises his attack on his 18 key. He does like 4 or 5 super attacks every bloody turn, and yeah, he's just basically huge. An absolute massive unit, and with his super attack or his active skill, he just incinerates Goku. He doesn't take long to build up either, so yeah, he's just really strong. To cut a long story short, he's just really strong. Then alongside him on the 1 rotation, we've got the Frieza Full Power, a unit that probably doesn't need an easy A, but I would say probably needs a very good linking partner, and then he'll start to look really good again. This Frieza is really strong. He's got that ability to fire off multiple super attacks. He has guaranteed critical hits against Goku enemies, which tends to make him look really strong in this event. And he is very strong in this event. It's not that he looks very strong. Any event where you're facing Goku, this guy looks like a beast, and that's not going to change any point in future because guaranteed crits is just crazy. The only important thing to know about Frieza, his key does start off a little bit low, and he needs his 18 key to build up his defense. So the big thing about him is more so that you need to really kind of have built up his defense by this point. So you need to make sure that no matter what you're doing, you're getting 18 keys, because eventually his bonus defense will drop, and he needs those 18 keys to really kind of keep his defense at a very natural high level. So that's probably the only important thing to know about him. Then on the other rotation alongside our LR Cooler, we've got Cooler, the other strength cooler. After his EZA, very strong. Was pretty strong in this event before EZA, but now really strong after EZA. He raises defense permanently, he stacks on his attacks, and just in general he's great to have. In his base form he'll be a really good support, but beyond that he's actually just really strong overall. His transformed state is really where you start to see the benefits, at least in this event. Not that his support doesn't matter, but in his transformed state he basically is a mini version of LR Cooler, and he has guaranteed critical hits against Pure Saiyans or Hybrid Saiyans. So he's basically baby LR Cooler. So you have LR Cooler and then you have baby LR Cooler next to each other. They share a crap ton of links together and they just look really good. So yeah, honestly, just absolutely decimates the event. There's really not too much to say. He just incinerates Goku basically. Whenever he pops up, he just starts popping off. Very much basically like this LR Frieza, where you just see these huge attack stats and these guaranteed crits, and yeah, he basically just kind of one-shot KOs Goku. Then, things get a little bit different. I just kind of wanted to try out some units I hadn't seen in a while, just spice things up a bit around like the team. So we have the Strength Kulieza. Obviously this unit you probably have seen in a lot of places. Very strong unit, obviously really gained popularity with the release of LR Cooler, and the fact that he's, stacks his defense. He's so strong, he's a support, he fires off multiple super attacks, he's just really good. So he's really strong, honestly speaking. And that's fine, that's great for him, and he really suits this team. It's nice to see him have kind of like this place to shine when you talk about the team and the team build and everything. So yeah, Kulieza really good, and does obviously help out the team a lot. So very happy with his overall performance. I think overall most players will be happy with his performance, and if you have him, he's obviously a great unit to use. But then we also have Cooler Final Form. The physical one after his EZA, really strong unit. Only thing they needed to do was, and it would have been very strong for the time it was released, but they just needed to have him raise defense on his super attack, and he would have been still able to kick it with the big boys right now. Very strong offensive unit that can do really big damage. So yeah, overall he's still good. Just fallen off a little bit because of the fact that the game really spiked in difficulty after his release. But yeah, honestly speaking, team functions great. There really wasn't anything too strange to run here. Just basically chose a whole bunch of really fun units to kind of put together. And then Metal Cooler, just a great unit. A couple of things about him is, obviously he's really strong. He takes a couple of hits and he can actually do some really big damage. He also heals. He has really good defense afterwards as well. But he also has a 40% crit chance when facing Pure Saiyans enemies, especially super class ones like Goku. So he's not only like a very strong defensive unit, but he's actually also a really strong offensive unit, especially in this situation. So he does a really good job basically of doing huge damage to Pure Saiyans units, which I think at the end of the day is really good when you look at like how he performs overall. I honestly think AGL Metal Cooler does a great job, and he's a little bit underutilized, I think, because of the release of physical LR Cooler. I think because he doesn't really have like an outward great linking partner. I think he's a little bit underutilized, but I actually think he's really good. So yeah, but that is basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. It is always greatly appreciated, as always. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. So until then, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.